So I'm going to take a moment to just fully arrive and be present. I invite you all to do that as well. Settle in for our guided meditation today. In this month, we've been exploring the four limitless qualities of Buddhism, the four Brahma Viharas. And these are the qualities that we cultivate in and out of meditation practice. In meditation, of course, is a very important part of this practice. However, a teacher once wrote that the most important practice is what we carry with us off the pillow. So when we rise up from our seated practice or our laying down practice, our intentional walking mindful practice or movement practice or washing the dishes practice, whatever it may be. And when we leave the practice and enter into our everyday lives, that perhaps that's the most important practice. In that sense, our intentional seated practice, walking practice, whatever it may be, is preparation, it's preparatory. And that teacher, Shunryu Suzuki Roshi, was tailoring his traditional lineage-based Japanese Zen practice to meet the needs of the American people. So when he brought his lineage to America, he thought to himself, this is a perfect population to bring this practice to because they all have beginner's minds. And that's specifically what his practice is based on, is trying to hold that beginner's mind. So what he saw in his students was something that he himself was trying to attain. And I think that's a beautiful practice. So perhaps we start from that standpoint today, emptying our cups, preparing our minds, remembering that perhaps having that beginner's mind is a good place to start each day. The saying from that teaching is, in the beginner's mind, the possibilities are many. In the master's mind, the possibilities are few. So when we hold on to that beginner's mind state, we're expanding the possibilities. We're opening ourselves up to something. And so today I'd like to guide you through an equanimity meditation. Last week I did a practice that it was inclusive of all four of the limitless qualities of the Brahma Viharas. Today I'd like to just focus in on one. Equanimity can be translated, or there's a mantra that can go along with it. It is the intention to be equally near to all things. So it's about balance. I chose this as our focus today because it's one of the four that I more often than not find myself returning to. For me, that's because being a person living in recovery is an in-between state. That's how it feels for me these days. With a little over 5 years of abstinence from substance use and over half of my lifetime pursuing that abstinence, I am still in a state of in-between where now in my practice, I am focused on moving away from the identification of being either a person who's using or not using, and opening myself up to the being that I am that is more whole than that, that is more limitless than that. I want to focus on my possibilities and the other qualities that I have, that I give, and that I take in. So equanimity is that balance. For me, it is a sometimes acknowledgement of my past and where I come from. But more and more nowadays, I am focusing more on what's happening in this present moment. To not be so lost in the past and to not be so concerned about the future, but to be right here in this moment. So for this practice, as we settle in, find a comfortable but alert position in which to sit. Allow your eyes to gently close or perhaps keep them open and find a place to focus. Pay attention to your body and see if there are any minor adjustments that will help you maintain the position for the duration of this meditation. Rest your hands comfortably on your legs or in your lap. You might choose to place them palms down in a mudra or position of grounding. You might choose to put them in a position of palms up, signifying openness to new experience, or that you're in a place now where you can take in energy or take in teaching. You might hold them in the cosmic mudra, if you're familiar with that, emptying the space between your hands and gently allowing your thumbs to touch very lightly. And when they fall away, it's an invitation to bring your mind back to the present moment. When they press too far in, it's perhaps an invitation to let go a little bit, finding that balance. However you choose to place your body in your hands, allow your breath to ground you in this practice, balancing your focus on the guidance that I'm honored to provide you with, and that I thank you for trusting me with, and your breath and your senses, allowing your attention to drift freely between whatever it is that you need to be focusing on for that particular moment. So we'll start with a few minutes of concentration practice just to help our mind settle and arrive in our present time experience. Allow your breathing to be natural, seeing where in the body you could feel the breath most naturally. It may be in the stomach or abdomen, where you can feel the rising and falling of your belly as the body breathes. It might be in the chest, where you may notice the expansion and contraction as the body inhales and exhales. Perhaps it's at the nostrils, where you can feel a slight tickle as the air comes in and the subtle warmth as the body exhales. Breathing in, just bring a gentle awareness to the breath. Breathing out, be aware of the breath leaving the body. In equanimity practice, we're cultivating a mind and a heart that stays balanced and at ease with our surroundings. In equanimity, we come to understand that our happiness and suffering is not caused by our experiences and circumstances, but in our responses to them. We may begin our equanimity practice by repeating the following phrases for ourselves. I am responsible for my own actions. I am responsible for the energy and attention I give my thoughts, feelings, and experiences. May I find a true source of happiness. May I find peace exactly where I am. Perhaps practice with those phrases or find some of your own for a few moments of silence. Now, bring to mind someone who has benefited you or been especially kind to you. This may be a loved one, a friend, a teacher, or a mentor. As this person comes to mind, tune in to your natural desire to see this person happy, free from suffering, and at ease with life. The practice is to recognize that although we may offer this person compassion, we are not in control of their happiness. Equanimity helps us to let go of the outcome and focus on our own practice. Repeat silently to yourself the following phrases. Regardless of my wishes for you, your happiness is not in my hands. All beings are responsible for the suffering or happiness created by their own actions. May you find a true source of happiness. May you find peace exactly where you are. Allow this practice to become your own, customizing it as you see fit for a few moments of silence. Let this person go from your mind and bring to mind a neutral person. This is someone you see perhaps regularly, but that you don't know very well. It may be somebody who works somewhere you go a lot, a coworker, a person you've seen at meetings, or maybe a neighbor. Although you don't know this person well, you can recognize that just as you wish to be happy, this person wants to be happy as well. You don't need to know what their happiness looks like. Again, offer this person the phrases of equanimity, recognizing that you aren't in charge of their happiness. Regardless of my wishes for you, your happiness is not in my hands. All beings are responsible for the suffering or happiness created by their own actions. May you do what needs to be done to find happiness. May you find peace exactly where you are. Allow this practice to become your own for a few moments of silence. Now, letting this neutral person go, think of someone whom you find difficult or toward whom you feel a resentment, hurt, or jealousy. You may not want to pick the most difficult person in your life. Instead, choose someone who is currently agitating or annoying you. Allow yourself to see this person as an opportunity to practice. Again, offer these phrases of equanimity with the intention of recognizing that they are in charge of their happiness and ease. Regardless of my wishes for you, your happiness is not in my hands. All beings are responsible for the suffering or happiness created by their own actions. May you find a true source of happiness. May you find peace exactly where you are. Allow this practice to become your own for a few moments of silence. Now, letting go of all thoughts of others, return your focus to your own body, mind, and heart. Notice any discomfort, tension, or difficulty you may be feeling. Notice if you are experiencing any new lightness, warmth, relaxation, or joy. Notice if you feel any increase in your ability to care without controlling, to accept that each of us is responsible for the consequences of our own actions. Take a few moments to offer sentiments of equanimity, metta, kindness, compassion, joy, self love, or whatever works to return your focus to your own self. Ending this practice with a sense of equanimity, but also self love, and anything else you feel that your being needs in this moment after having gone through this practice. We'll sit with this self love for a few moments of silence before ending our practice. Now, whenever you are ready, allow your eyes to open or let go of your focus. Participate in the dedication of merit. The dedication of merit to anyone who is new is how we end our practice by acknowledging the benefit of this practice that we cultivated in this Sangha and transmitting it to all beings everywhere. So, may the merit that we all contributed to bringing about in these moments that we've shared together this day in this practice and all days in all of our practice, from the beginning of that practice to the end of that practice, may the benefit of this practice be transmitted to all beings everywhere. And may we devote this practice to the awakening, healing of suffering, and increased skill set and ability to suffer without any reticence whatsoever to all beings that exist in this universe. Thank you all for allowing me to be a part of this community and to guide us in our practice today. And may all of you have a wonderful rest of the day. Namaste.